All right, chat. So let's listen to what this woman has to say. Okay. This is a video by Anton Daniels. Fair use, fair use.
One question I get asked a ton is if I would ever date an African American man or if I ever been with one. And my answer is it's not for me. Unfortunately, it's not for me. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. It's not.
What does that mean? Either you have been or you haven't. And she said it's not for me. So I'm assuming that she has, and maybe she had a bad experience.
And I'm going to give you guys the point of view from a guy's point of view towards African American women because I've done my research.
Guy's point of view?
I've asked a ton of men about this and they all come back to me with the same response. Okay. And I don't really hate for you guys to be in the dark about this. I want you guys to know why it is. And
what does she mean she asked a bunch of guys about this? I'm confused.
We avoid it. And why African American are the least desirable to date in the whole US. Okay. I'm going to tell you why. Okay. So listen up. First reason is because you guys carry a very strong odor, a smell.
And see, this is my problem when these light-skinned Latinas try to be racist. You can't even speak English properly. You carry a very strong odor of smell. You can't even be racist articulately. You can't even be racist in English. You don't even know how to say the word odor, and you're being racist. You guys carry a very strong smell. Okay. In my personal opinion, pause what I'm about to say. I haven't met a lot of black niggas that stink or share odors. I haven't. Most time, especially when you go overseas and you're in Asia, most of the time when a black guy walk past me, I smell cologne, I smell deodorant. I'm very rarely ever smelling musk. And when I am smelling musk, there's another particular kind of person that's near me. That's really the only time I smell musk, right? But whatever, I'll let her finish.
Very strong.
She doesn't. She's not pronouncing her words correctly. She says order. She didn't say odor. She said order.
First reason is because you guys carry a very strong odor, a smell, a very strong smell. And I'm not saying because you guys don't shower, you guys are nasty. It's because you guys just carry this really unique smell. And you guys probably don't notice it and you guys can't smell it because you guys grew up that way. But us, on the other hand, we notice that smell right away.
Who was us?
And let me tell you guys, it's not pleasant. I'm sorry, it's not a pleasant smell.
All right, so let me ask a couple different questions, and I want to know it from you guys in the chat. One of them I already know the answer.
Yeah, and I had to ask one of my Spanish friends too. I was like, yo, do you notice black people have a particular smell? He was like, no. But he says he's heard other Spanish people say black people have a particular odor that they carry. And I'm like, now I don't know. Maybe some of you guys won't consider me to be, Black American or whatever it is. Or some of y'all might say, oh, you African, so all you Africans carry. I've heard that before. That's because of cooking. But I promise you, maybe my family's different. We don't carry African scents, maybe because we're super Americanized. So we eat American food. We wear cologne, perfume. We take showers. We do like in my household, you get shamed for carrying odor, okay? You get shamed a lot for carrying odor. So we don't carry odor. Definitely not on our clothes. So I try to understand what she's talking about. And it's like, how are you smelling these guys? Are you smelling them after workout, or are you laid up with them and you're smelling the same kind of shit with everything? Because I'll be real with you. I don't look at this woman and say to myself, oh, she's never been with a black man. No. She's definitely gotten ran through by black niggas. And she just has overall determined that she does not want to be with a black man for whatever reason, right? Which is fair to her. She can make that assessment. But when you come online and you say that they are the lowest desirability in the dating market, and that's actually not true. I think it's actually Asian men that are like the lowest. Like I said, I think inside the dating market, the lowest is Asian men, black women. I think that's how it kind of goes. It makes me feel like you're on like a propaganda campaign to talk bad about black men, but whatever.
The second one, maybe I don't know, it's the melanated skin. that is producing this order. Maybe it's cultural, maybe it's the foods that you eat, who knows? I know that different cultures had different things that they embrace, and maybe that they fry their foods in or something and it makes them, give them a smell, whatever. So here's my first question. My first question is, what is this odor, and is this standard amongst most black people? All right. The second question is, where did she get this statistic that indicated that black men was the least desirable in the United States of America? I do not believe that, not even a little bit. I don't believe that worldwide at all.
I don't either. A lot of men try to say it. I personally do not notice it. From Pakistanians in London to Filipino women in the Philippines, Japanese women in Japan. I notice every race of woman likes black men. Black men have no problems cleaning up anywhere they go. Anywhere they go. And Japan is difficult for anyone that doesn't speak Japanese. And it's only really difficult if you don't know where to go. Like, I didn't know where to go. So it was difficult for me. But I know other people have better experiences than me.
By default, worldwide, the narrative, and I'm not saying that this is true either, is that Asian men are the least desirable and black women have historically been the least desirable. And I would even fight against that because I think is where you at. As a matter of fact, black women have always, in my opinion, especially physically, been the standard. And that's why you've seen everybody starting to get BBL so that they can mimic the body of black women, which black women then mess up their own bodies.
Big
But
facts.
my point is that I don't know about this smell. I've never heard of this. I've been around so many different cultures. I think that if you put some good soap, water, and have a halfway decent diet as far as what you put inside of your body, and you're not a smoker and you don't hang around where it's a lot of fried foods, then I think that you'll be regular. You know what I'm saying? Soap, water, lotion, brush your teeth, mouthwash, floss, water flosser, those type of things. I think you'll be okay, but it ain't no way in the world that you're gonna ever convince me. I wouldn't believe it in a million years. And I think that it's cool that she got her preference. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with her saying it's not for her or she's.
I kind of want to say this. I don't really watch Anton Daniels, but some of the videos that I've watched, I actually like his perspectives. I feel like he shares a very similar perspective to what I have in regards to just marriage, dating dynamics. I don't know his, political views. I don't care that much. I've said this many times, there's this narrative that like black men have a problem cleaning up or getting real like desirability. And I just feel like that's not true. Like the only place I see black men struggle is in the construct in which white people like to try to downplay us. But it's like when you go other places, like when you're dealing with women that's not trying to appeal to white culture and white men and Europeans, we tend to do pretty well anywhere that we go. There's not a problem with being black until someone tells you there's a problem being black. So the issue with this woman is that you can see she's trying too hard to be a white woman. And because she's trying to be a white woman, it's almost like she's taking it upon herself to almost convince herself and other people like her that black men are the lowest in the dating market. But to be honest with you, if you truly believe that black men didn't have that ism about them, that like thing about them that makes them relevant to talk about, you would have never made this video. You know what I'm saying? Like you would have never made this video. You're only making this video because black men are powerful enough for you to feel like you need to speak down on them. And something you guys need to understand about female nature, right? If a woman would go as far as making videos about how much of a piece of shit you are, how unworthy you are as a person, the chances are that you probably can get her coochie wet. Yeah. Yeah. The guys they spend all day long talking about, you're unworthy, you're invaluable, they fold. I'm not looking at this woman buying anything she's saying. This woman looks like to me, she lets black niggas smack it down in private, but she want to bring a white boy home so she can get the approval of mama and papa who don't like black people. But she gonna let a black nigga smack it down in private if she hasn't already done that a million times. That's just my opinion, though, right? I could be dead wrong. I could be dead wrong. See, you saying Drake, I don't think it would take Drake. I think it would take any regular good-looking black dude can get this.
She prefers not to date black men. I don't think that that's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like most people, most guys don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because they going in every single way, fashion, form, any way that you can think of. They are
Facts.
going, and so there is never going to be a shortage of women. And more power to her. I think that anybody and everybody can choose to be with whoever they want to be with, or they can have a preference. There's some people that have preferences that's a little bit outsized, you know what I'm saying? And so they asking for a little bit much, but that's, again, they can still have their preference. There is no standard or rule that says that you have to only date this person or whatever. I've always hated the idea that people, say that that's what you have to do, that you can't marry a white woman or you can't marry a black woman if you're a white man or whatever. You can do whatever the hell you want to do. And so people need preferences. I'm not tripping off of the opinion that this is what she think is a standard throughout the United States of America. I'm calling bullshit all day long. All day long. I think that en masse, men in general are having trouble and problems with the liberalization of women in general inside of the United States of America. A lot of guys
Everywhere.
that,
Everywhere.
go and get wives and then they bring them back here, say that their girl has been Americanized and she adapt to the culture. And that's not necessarily a
If you guys have any videos that you want me to look at, send them through on the Discord. Send them to me on IG. If you can paste the link in the comments, paste the link. All right.
compliment. When we got all of these advocations for feminism and middle-aged women is turning more liberal than ever and stuff like that, all of that stuff plays a role. All of that stuff is impactful as far as the American culture. But men worldwide, black men, we the man no matter where we go. I'm keeping it 100. And again, I've traveled to plenty of countries. I've traveled to almost all 50 states and multiple different cities inside of those states, both big and large cities, urban environments, all the way down to rural America. I've seen a lot of it. I've never ever heard that in my entire life. Not once. I've heard a lot of stereotypes.
I've never heard that stereotype either. And you guys can tell me too, have you ever heard the stereotype that black men share a similar scent or smell that's unpleasant? I've never heard that before. Never.
But that ain't one of them. Everybody want the BBC.
It's just not a pleasant smell. Okay. Second reason, you guys are extremely loud people, very loud people. Like, it's unnecessary. Like, it just throws off ghetto-ness. You know what I mean?
The culture is a little bit extra. I'll give her that one. Again, when she's saying this, I don't think that she's saying that this is applicable to everybody, but the culture can get a little bit much. I get it.
I hate to say that, but it throws off ghetto-ness. I can't stand somebody that's ghetto. I'm sorry. I grew up in the ghetto. Okay?
You grew up in the ghetto of where? You couldn't even say the word odor 3 minutes ago. You said order for the word odor. So maybe you did grow up in the ghetto where you just didn't have access to like proper English schooling, or you moved from some other country where they didn't have, like the ESL program going on. You think you're better than what you are. You think you're better than what you are. That's what this seems like to me. You can't stand ghetto people. You look like you're trying to force superiority to me.
I grew up somewhere called the jungle. You can already get an idea. It's the ghetto. Does not mean that I'm going to be ghetto and I'm going to.
Where's the jungle? Where's that at? Is that in the U.S.?
Act ghetto. You know what I mean? I left the ghetto-ness for a reason. So it's a no-no for me, okay? And maybe for the men, the African-American men are at least a little bit more mellow on that end when it comes to the loudness. It's not as bad as the women, but
But she's saying how she's supposedly only be not preferring black men. I don't understand why the women is even involved.
And this is why I'm saying this bitch is just racist. There really is. There's really nothing else to see here, chat. Now she's going into women because I'm like, black niggas are not that loud. We're like really not that loud. She's just racist. Now, if you had to ask me, she probably had a couple black boyfriends. She probably been in fights with black women who have beat the shit out of her for taking their nigga, right? And she has overall concluded that her life problems come from dating black men. That's what this sounds like to me. She has no accountability at all. Most dudes that date her are going to run through it. Yeah, she like gives me vibes like she's ex BBC chaser. I think when I do my thumbnail, I'm gonna call her ex BBC chaser. She was obviously chasing BBC. Obviously.
Problem. We don't like it, guys. Okay.
Who is
so
we?
There you have it. Those are the two main reasons why. Two main reasons why. Okay. And like I said,
So it's because of loudness and what we smell like, apparently.
guys, I didn't want you guys to be in the dark. I wanted to come on here and let you guys know because I
She's
feel like
basically telling the black guys that she doesn't want an excuse as to why she does not respond to them when they send her DMs. Oh, it's because you're loud and you stink. Got it. So black men, stay out of a woman like this DMs.
a lot of people won't make a video about this because they feel like they're going to get a lot of hate and they're afraid to hurt people's feelings. But I'm here to tell you, I don't care about your feelings. I care about the truth and being honest. That's it. Okay? So take it however you want. That's the feedback that I have for you today.
Now, it may be a bunch of people to get offended by that. Again, I'm not. Because A, I'll never see this woman the day of my life. B, I don't think that what she says is disrespectful. Again, it's a preference. And I think that people can prefer to be with whoever it is that they want to be with. And C, from my lens and from the lens of a lot of guys that I know, that definitely ain't true. More importantly, I think that people should go where they appreciate it and where they celebrate it instead of where they tolerate it. And everybody will be happier because of that. Nobody's feelings is hurt. Nobody is tripping out about it. I don't think that it's a big deal.
And see, that's kind of what I'm getting at with this conversation. Like, if black men were so undesirable, you would have never took the time to make this video. I don't sit around talking about particular groups of people. Like, I could care less what people in the ABC community are doing. Like, I don't care because I'm not attracted to any of them. I don't like, they don't take away any quality of my life. It makes no difference. They can do their thing. I'm not gonna say, do you guys know why I don't really care, because like our lives are never gonna cross paths with each other. Yeah. I'm getting the vibes like she got ran through by certain guys, and she's like, hey, this is why I don't like you guys. You guys all stink. And no, the guys you were laid up with, the guys you were BBC chasing, all they BBC smell the same. Maybe all they BBC smell the same after they BBC been in you. Now they all smell the same, right? But who knows? But I'm definitely getting she has like buyer's remorse. She done been hugged by the BBC. She's been sitting around now. She's like, when it comes to dating, I just feel like black people are just like, it's like, yeah, because you were chasing, like, so you just told me that you're from the jungle. What's the jungle like, right? Someone just said it in the chat. They said that the jungle is in Los Angeles, right? So is the jungle like a hood that has black people in it? Because typically what happens by these women is that they get hugged by some BBC because they grew up in the hood, so they're naturally attracted to niggas from their hood. She got hubbed by BBC, got heartbroken, realized that at this age she's at, none of these niggas that she's getting hubbed by are going to commit to her. And then she goes on a tirade like, you know what? I hate all these niggas. I want to be more like white. I want to try to fit in. I want to try to elevate my status, and being with a black man is not going to elevate my status. How do you say that the reason why you don't date black men is because they're loud and they stink? I thought you were going to say a bunch of things. I thought you were going to say they're gangbangers, they don't commit, they're cheaters, they're XYZ. You're saying they're loud and they stink. It sounds like copium to me. That's what this sounds like. She's been hubbed by BBC. Of course, you can look at her face and tell that. Asian countries has great infrastructure, safety, convenience, and those countries never had to figure out how to implement slaves into their society. No need to look down on them. So we're on the poll right now. It looks like you guys are concluded at the fact that Latinas are better, for y'all, are better to marry than Asian women. I think we've now been on that now for like 40 minutes. So I think I'm going to conclude the poll at this point in time. If anyone wants to put in their last minute votes, if you haven't voted already, see if your vote can make any difference. But right now, Latinas are taking the win currently. She probably is going to say that in the next vid. Right. And then I want to see how many boyfriends that she's had and how many of them were black. Yeah. Chat, man. You gotta stop listening to these women, man. They come on the internet and just say whatever, bro. There was nothing to hear here, and there's nothing to see. Just bullshit. Do we have any videos that we want me to go over, or is that it? I'm tired, chat. If we don't have nothing, I'll get off. If we have something, I'll stay on stream. All right. I'll give a little bit of my piece, but I don't think there's anything more to go over inside of that video.